Hey there. Good evening from Monday nights at Area 51 Raceway. How is everybody doing tonight? Uh, Last week was Memorial Day. It was more of a respect for memorizing all the the lives that were given for the freedom of our country. So I really wanted to make sure that excuse me as I lower this TV here there. Just wanted to make sure that just didn't want to didn't want to overshadow that with a lie, to be honest. But hello, everybody. I hope you're doing well. I've been busy working on the chassis build, and I see who we have back. We have Danny back. So welcome back, Danny. I know Danny was doing a large project with a Buick that involved transplanting an engine, late model car that has a lot of stuff to it. So he was busy doing that. I'm glad to have you back, Danny. As you see, he says there, hates slot heads. I'm back and ready for slot cars. So hello to you. Glad you're back. And we have Jeff G. How you doing, Jeff G? And of course, we have my buddy Shotgun Dave, who's always helping me out with links. I'm glad you're here tonight. And we have John Tucci. How you doing, John? I hope you're doing good. And we have Gene from Gene's spare room, slot car room. I hope your arm is doing good, Gene. I know you've been recovering. I saw you do a video with, after your surgery, so I hope it's healing up. I think it was a rotator cuff you had a operation on, so hope that's okay. Hope you're doing good. And we have Slot Dojo. How you doing? Slot Dojo is in the house here. And then we have Chris here. I have a hard time saying the name, so I'm sorry. I won't say it. Patskowski. I hope I said that correctly. So I know I look at that name and I kind of have to really make sure I'm not butchering it when I look at it. I don't want to mess it up. And then we have Tad. Tad, how you doing, Tad? Glad you could be here tonight on Monday night here. And then we have Nobody's Home. How you doing there, sir? Hope you're doing good. And we have Pistol Pete. How you doing, Pistol Pete? Hope you're doing good. Hope everything's well. And what else we got here? Gary Dunmore. How you doing, Gary? John Albright, my fellow Revo slut. my buddy in Revel Slot, counterpart there. He's always doing Revel Slot stuff. He's got a huge collection of them. Then we have Drake Edens, and we have Kim Davis. Welcome, guys. Glad to see you make it here. And we got Daryl Rogers, Mr. Daryl Rogers. How you doing, sir? Daryl Rogers is another fellow Revel slut. That came out wrong. So cool. I'm glad you guys are here tonight. I think there was a question up here earlier that I will pull up. I had the passages to say, everybody, so I think it was for Dave. Dave, you guys going to do a video on how to do your interiors with the drivers on the builds? That would be a yes. Dave will go through that over on the hot rod build. Dave is really skilled at that. I'm all right. I've done a couple of things with full figure drivers and tray drivers. Tray driver is probably about the easiest one to tackle. Interior, full interior one takes a little bit more because you got to paint all the details in there, but a tray one will be just as good, and you don't have to worry about cutting the interior for the motor. But yeah, we'll be doing a video on that. As a matter of fact, a video right now is uploading on the chassis build, the 125th scale chassis build. So I'm uploading that now. That's an hour and 49-minute video, so it gets kind of drawn out to do videos of building chassis, especially when I've done a few of them already, or quite a few of them. It's kind of monotonous is what I mean. Not monotonous, monotonous when you keep doing it over and over again. So it's an hour and 49 minutes. It's basically how to start from the beginning until you get a roller. And that's without the body pads, because I stopped there because it would go on for another hour, and I don't want to do that. I want to try and make it to the point where people could follow it, because you could get really kind of sick of watching a video of a guy talk about putting a chassis together. But it's uploading, so it'll be part one. I'm doing a zipper top. I'll get into cutting the model and stuff if you guys are interested in that, and where I cut it and all that. I did a video with that separate. So I got a bunch of things going on, and pretty much trying to get it together. And we have Slot Journal. How you doing, Slot Journal? Thank you. Hope you're doing good. And we got Clearwater. Clearwater's in the house. How you doing, Clearwater? Good to see you. And we got Harry. There you go. one of my three amigos from this little photo up here that we have. So glad to have you here, Harry. Thanks for coming. So, what has everybody been up to? I know I've been concentrating more on the brass chassis builds with the kit. As you can see, I have a chassis there on the chassis jig, and that's what I just did in the video. So I just took it out of the sonic cleaner because you got to remember every time you work on those and you solder them and use the uh, the acid flux, there's a residue, so it's best to always clean it off. Make sure you clean it off. That's important. And I took it out of there and the wheels and the axles because I was using that in the video because I'm using everything in the kit on how to assemble it and solder it together. But that is the zipper top chassis on its way, and I'll do the pads, the body pads next, and basically cutting the body and kind of showing you where to position it, after you've got the pads on and stuff like that. So I'm going to do a full interior on that one. So that one will be a little extra thing with a full interior, as somebody mentioned asking about interior. That won't be a tray interior. I'm going to be using a full interior on that. So stay tuned. So, hey, and we got Slot Journal. How you doing, Slot Journal? I know it must be probably very early in the morning over there. I'm not sure. I think it is. And so thank you for joining us. I know that's a lot to be up early in the morning. So, but we got a lot of people in the house here, which is cool. And I appreciate you coming. And I don't really have a topic, to be honest, tonight, so we'll just jabber on about anything. I know as I've been watching a lot of the cars that have been coming out, keeping an eye out. We're still waiting on the Thunderslot Ferraris, which is really an exciting car that I'm really looking forward to getting. And I have gotten, I think, 4 more Rio slots I need to tune. And that's about it for Rio slots for now. I have to hold off to get some other stuff done. So I won't be buying any cars probably for another month and a half, maybe 2. And July, which is coming up, is the Home Racing World Proxy. So we have the Showdown, Strange Brew Modifieds, the zipper top land barges. So I will be there for that. Chuck and Dave will be there, and a few other people that we know that come there during the summer to race. So it's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of coverage. I'll make sure you guys get your fill of all the little events going on. So keep in mind there. Make sure you tune in. Stockcar Wildman, how you doing? I know he was really excited and got a kit, and he's building an Oldsmobile. I guess he's building an Oldsmobile for himself just to have an Olds. So that's cool. I know I think you got 1 or 2 kits, which is cool. But the kits are still available. So far, putting that chassis together was pretty easy and a lot of fun. So if you guys get into it, please do. It's pretty cool to do all that stuff. So anyways, so what else is new with you guys? Anything else going on? You got Jeff G there saying hello to Eric. Again, I really don't have much of a topic, guys. I've been busy with doing this video, and then I did one on the Revo slot, of course, the Porsche that I got. Little video I'll have going there, but I'm gonna hold off on that. Slat R Avant Slut Trader. There we go. Yep, Slot R's been dealing with a couple of Avant slots, which is pretty cool looking cars he's been getting. So, whole point is you have more fun, have a lot of fun with it. And we have George. I need more kits. You need more model kits. There's plenty of 125th model kits, Eric. There is a ton of them. So remember that there's a lot of 125th kits you could do with that chassis kit. So, but again, like I said, I really don't have any specific topic on anything. I am just here chatting with you guys, and I know it's not anything exciting or any subjects that I have to speak of, but I just want to chat with you guys and see how you're doing. And I resemble that remark. Same. So the response there. Harry, you ordered some parts and to be stocked for your visit. Gotcha. Well, we have Steve Stone. So Steve Stone is game over on the forum. Every year Steve Stone comes, and then there's FN Ford guy who's on the forum, which is Brian. Every year those guys come. They're there about every year to these events. I don't know if Steve will be there. He's usually there in the winter, but I'm not certain. But he builds He usually will build 1 or 2 cars within a few days, and I mean paint it and complete it and on the track running. So Steve's quite the building machine, and he does a real good job on building cars. Slot Hub, how you doing? Thanks for joining us. So nobody home. You're asking, will paste flux work just or just liquid? Okay, so that's a good question because now we'll talk about scratch building. How's that? Since the thing is coming up and I don't really have a subject. Uh, so hold on a second. I'm gonna show you here. Let me get something here. Okay. So for metals like brass, piano wire, when you're doing the chassis itself, like you see there in the camera on the top, my top left would be probably your right or whatever. But you want to use the Stay Clean Acid Flux. That's the stuff you use for soldering the chassis together. So brass, metals, wire, piano wire, so forth, bushings. This is what you use. And this stuff right here, when you're done with the chassis, it's really important, like I said, to clean the chassis afterwards. Stay Clean's a good stuff. It works great. I've used it on all my cars. Harry's used it. Dave's used it. It's good stuff. You get it from Amazon. That big bottle, I think this bottle is, 3 years old, and I still got 3/4 of it. So, I mean, there's a lot in here, too. Still in the stuff. So that bottle is a, let me see, sorry, I keep going back and forth. This is a 16-ounce bottle, and that'll last you a really long time. And you always want to wash it off when you're done. So you want to wash it with the CLR, I think it is, or use baking soda and vinegar, or you could use a Vibronic sonic cleaner and clean it up, and then just wash it off when you're done getting out of the little cleaner, because they give you a little jewelry cleaner is what it is to clean it up. And then for wires and like lead wires, you want to use the paste flux, and that's this stuff right here. You can get this from Amazon. I know that's not going to focus that great, but this is the paste flux that you use, and this is what you only use on lead wires. This is all you use. Don't use any liquid flux, or you're going to corrode the wires, and then the corrosion will spread everywhere on the chassis, on your motor, and it just gets like green colored, and it won't look good. So make sure you use use those when you're soldering. So that's what I do. Chris, I'm working on racetrack scenics Dave Kenny's kiosk painting right now. Oh, cool. Yeah, Kevin. I'm supposed to go visit Kevin this week because he's got a new track out. It's called the Carolina Roval, and it's on his website too. And it's a pretty good looking track. And he's got it built, and I need to go visit him. And I may do that Wednesday or tomorrow. It just depends. I do have actually somebody. I do have Frank. So Frank in New York. I haven't seen him in a while. He should be coming tomorrow too, but I had to schedule that. I may have to reschedule. I'm not sure because we're supposed to go somewhere, and he was supposed to come Monday, but he couldn't. But I need to go visit Kevin, and that'd be a good time to go visit him and check out that track. So Slaughter, if anyone's reading this, is in the UK. AB Slots Sports sells the liquid acid flux I've used. It's very good. Okay, cool. So anybody in the United Kingdom, thank you, Dave. You go to that stuff. If it's good stuff, that's great. Same thing as Stay Clean. That's fine. That'll work. So that's good. All right. John, what do you got here? Wish I could be for the showdown. If nothing else, as a pit crewman. Yeah, it'd be cool to have you, man. I mean, you could check everything out. Going to Home Racing World it's really cool. It's very personable. And, it's a nice place to visit. It's to me, it has a good that good old American home feeling to it. That's just how I could describe it. It's really, really a nice place to visit, and it's worth the effort to make the trip down there and check it out if you want to go see one of the races and stuff. So, Gene, so we got here. I'm trying to plan my glass driver dash install, but I do not have the driver yet. Is there any recommended sequence, or I should wait until I get the driver? You wait until you get the driver because you do have to attach the driver to whatever you do. I don't know if you're doing a tray interior, so I would you could put the glass in and then get your interior and your driver and then put that in and then mount your body. On a tray interior, you could get away with putting the body mounts on first because it's a thin piece and you can slip over the body mounts. But if you have a full interior, if you try and do that, that's going to be real difficult and it may be giving you trouble, so you'll have to put the full interior first and then put your body mounts. So I would wait for the driver. Wait till you got everything. So there you go. There you go. I got Dave putting links. Thank you, Dave. Yep. I hope Frank makes it too. So and yes, HRW is a stock car mecca. Really cool place to go to. Trust me, it very, very much is. Jeff G, best part of the showdown for me is Harry and the crew having a blast. Yeah, and be assured that I am going to do a lot of uh, lives on that. So we're, I'm gonna get Harry the eCam program because Harry has a iMac just like what I have, and we can load that program and then we can remote. What's nice is that this camera view right here, I'm going to move it. This is my iPhone, and it automatically connects to the iPhone and acts as another camera besides the one right here that's on the iMac. So it's going to be cool. We're going to have a lot of things, and it's going to be really nice. It's going to be a lot of fun. So it will be a blast for sure. Robert Bonsai Hewitt. Hey, how you doing? Thanks for joining the live. Bonsai, yep. There was a guy who used to drag race. It was a friend that I knew, and they used to call him Bonsai Bowman because when he would race, something would either break apart or blow apart in his car, and that was the nickname he got. So that reminds me of that, Bonsai Bowman. You got Slaughter. I've seen the videos. It's worth the plane flight just for the barbecue. I just can't afford the flight right now. The barbecues are spectacular. I like when Steve's there. Dude's hilarious. Yep. Uh, the barbecues and the food is something. So there's a video of me eating a slot burger, and I ate that whole thing. It was good. And the first night I got there, when I first got it, was Labor Day shootout, and that was 2022, I think it was. When I got there, the first night, I got like half a cow handed to me on a plate. You know, we just drove in because my wife was with me, Dee Dee, and lo and behold, man, a big, huge piece of meat, man. That was a big steak, and that was my entrance to getting into HRW, was getting to meet a burger and getting to meet all the food there. So it was really fun. Mark, is there a rattle can chrome paint, or do you have to use a silver match as best you can? Also, you can go eat a huge HRW burger you speak of. Yes, I'm going to go eat an HRW burger. We always do. There's different kinds of chrome paints available. You could use a chrome pen. I mean, it's up to you how you want to do it. You could use both. They do make a rattle can and like a chrome paint, but it isn't really like super bright chrome. I think you would have to paint it like a gloss black, and they make one where you put a light coat and it turns into a chrome. So I'm not too sure. Dave would probably know. I'm going to throw Dave in on that corner right there on that one. So there you go, Harry. Testers, Tamiya, even Rust-Oleum makes a decent spray chrome paint, good enough for our stock cars. There you go. There's an answer right there. Thank you, Harry. Appreciate that. And we have Daryl here. Can't wait to see you guys push my car around the track with the square body. Yeah, and that's what the land barges are. There's a lot of contact, and I mean a lot of contact, and sometimes you get cars that get hit, and then that's why I say to people, if you send it in, don't it will get some scars. We'll turn it into a hammer eventually because you start racing and the heat of combat, as Harry says, and it gets knocked around, and sometimes it gets falls off and hits the wall or whatnot. So, but don't worry, we'll put it back together. We've had it where sometimes an axle will pop off or something broke in the soldering, and we'll resolder it. We could fix it, no problem. We usually can. Or if a gear goes, Harry has parts, so we put a new gear in it if something strips. And that's happened here with the Midget Madness as well, which I've had to fix a few things, which is no big deal. We want the car to perform, so don't have to worry about that. There'll be some contact with the square body. So Mark, I've seen people use foil tape and polish it up with a pad or Dremel. Yep, you could do that also. There's the modeling. I forget what you call it, where you add it on there. I forget the name of it. Or you could use tin foil. There's different methods. There's a lot of modeling, scale modeling channels that'll show you what you could do. Clay Kemp is one channel that really does a good job on a lot of modeling for like racing cars and stuff, asphalt cars, midgets. He does a good job. But there's other static builders that have a good channel that do that kind of stuff, you could look it up. So good point there, Dave. Thank you. Thank you. If everyone showed up, the Skunk Works would need grandstands. That'd probably be true. Be pretty crowded in there. That's for darn sure. Excuse me. So Harry, here he goes. Harry, I gotta go feed the general. So I'll see you guys all later. Good seeing all of you. All right, Harry, thank you for showing up. Appreciate it, buddy. You go take care of business. Thanks. There you go. All right. So Stumpy Grumpy's modeling channel. I've seen that channel. That's a good channel right there. There you go. Stumpy Grumpy. You make some good video material there or content. Mark, I have a pen. I have that pen shotgun. Tried bare metal. Not quite good at enough for bare metal. Well, you got to practice. You get a piece of like the sprue, the trees that the model comes on, and coat that, and just mess with one of those. This way, when you do the actual piece, you kind of a little bit more, familiar what you need to do. You could experiment on just a piece of, plastic from the sprue or something like that. That'll work. So, but back to the plastic syringe for paste flux. Puts the right amount where you need it. Nice and clean connections with no excess mess. There you go. Good idea, John. Thank you. Here you go, guys. The syringe does work real well. A plastic syringe, you can get those pretty much anywhere. Cheap ones. Dave saying bare metal foil takes a little practice, but results is great looking. Yep. So practice on a piece of sprue, like I mentioned, or some other part of the car that you're not going to use, and you can do that. And Jeff is right here. I do bare metal, just practice, and you get good with it. See, there you go. And we're going to see a lot of different cars that people have built, and their different approach to doing things, and that's the fun of it. Watching them, seeing their cars. Because I had a good time with the hot rods when they did the hot rods at HRW. You could see all the different things that everybody did, which was really cool. How their approach to building a slot car, and that's the whole idea. I mean, there's no one way of doing it. There's different ways of doing it, and some people have great ideas when they do it, and that's the cool part about it. You get to see all their ideas. But anyways, so with this build I have here so far, this is what I got. So I basically got this far on the chassis in the video, which I'll load up, which is loading up right now. And of course, I got to cut all these off, the little axle holders, and to see the square tubing that they included in the kit, which is good because this is goes around that pretty nice. And this was just, I could have taken more time doing this, but I just did this on the video just to show, how to do it. Usually when I do these chassis, I'll take my time a little bit more and kind of like, I think I would do better. But since I'm on video and I'm trying to show, I'm more concentrating to try and get my message out on how to do certain things, because it's like I want to continue, but I can't because I had to, finish videoing the rest of this. And again, what's in the kit is what I've been using for this. So everything that's in the kit is what's here. And I'll put some body pads on it, and then we'll do the body. And I've already cut the model up for the zipper top, and I'll show you how I did that as well. And here's the 57 Chevy, so you can see I cut it off already, so it was really easy. Not a really hard thing to do. It's not many cuts you had to do on this, and just shave it down and file it down, some of the areas I need to do. And this is my zipper top, so that'll be a lot of fun doing that and get all that done. So let's see, we got Mark. Can you show the front wheels part of the chassis up close? You're talking about the front axle. So this ain't a great focusing camera, but see those pieces of wire? I just basically soldered them to hold it up. In the video, what I did, I'll show you, is you'll see I put the wheels on. I put them up there, and that's where I pinned it, and where the wheels were holding the axle up, because I just had the wheels on, and everything was pinned, and how I soldered this in, and you'll see how I got that, as best I could as far as even wise. And then from here to here, to make sure it's correct, the same distance, which, I stressed on that part. But I hope that helps you there. So that question you had, cool. Rob Brush or Bush. Sorry, man, I said Brush. Get your name kind of confused sometimes. It's Rob from Swiss Slots. Let's leave it at that. Rob, how you doing? Your stuff is, when I looked at the tracking, is in Langley, I guess they call it. Langley, England. So that's a sorting place, I guess. So your stuff should be there soon. I'm assuming another day or two. It should be in, I guess the town is called St. Giles, is where you're at. So that'd be cool. As soon as they get to your place, you'll have your stuff there. So that's, I hope you get your stuff. I'm really looking forward to that. I'm more concerned that you get it. I hope I send it to the right address, or, because I don't know how, the addresses are in the United Kingdom, but I did put everything that you sent me. So looking forward to you getting that and checking it out and having fun with that. So that's good content for your channel there. Not like you don't have good content. I can't effing wait. And I have something else coming. You have to wait a few weeks for that. So you know what that is. So I have a kit here for you I could send to you. So but you guys check out Swift Slots channel. He's got a lot of good stuff. There you go. How do you say that? Quumbran? I can't say that word. I had to look that up in the diction or the in Google and hear how it sounded out. So that's very interesting. How would you say that? I wouldn't know how to say that. Michael Squire, how you doing? Glad to have you here. How you doing here? How you doing today? Glad you could join me. So Michael's in the house. Here you guys. Michael's got some pretty good videos on his channel too. On the his builds. So he's got a lot of cool builds. He really knows how to build really good builder. So Mark, I need to find a way to connect Chat GPT to the chat so I look smart. I guess that would be on here on YouTube. I guess you're saying. Say it again. Perfect. How would you say it? I don't know if I can say it Swiss Lots. I'm Quumbran. Quumbran. Let me spell it out. See Quumbran. Because I'm guessing that's what it is. I don't know. That doesn't sound right. But you said perfect, but I don't know if it's perfect. That's like some of the names we have here in North Carolina. Some of the towns are weird, we have Fayetteville. They got some strange names. Links to a song. Really? Link is too long. Oh, the link for, I guess you're trying to put a link up there. Not sure. That what it is? Quimbran? Okay. I wasn't sure. So, but yeah. There are some very strange names in right the first time. Okay, I'll have to look it up to make sure. So, to see what it, how you pronounce it and stuff. Quimbran. Okay. I got you. Quimbran. A little bit tough. Anybody have any questions? I know a few people have been asking, like Mark, and I think it's Nobody's Home has been asking questions. So if you two have a question about anything, please ask. Since we're on the topic of just, scratch building at the moment, so please come up with something at all. But so I see Revo Slots still having the F40s that are still coming out, and there was a little snippet of the new Datsuns, which is really interesting, and that'll be really cool for to see those cars come out, because I really like the Datsuns. They're really cool cars. I've been buying a lot of Revo Slots. I got a whole case full of them now, and I gotta get another case because I got 3 that I can't put anywhere right now at the moment. Maybe somewhere else, but I'll leave in the box. But looking forward to those cars. I know the slotted green P4 I think is coming out. There's the sideways one. That's a good one right there. The sideways racer car. It's the Capri, I think it is. There's an STP one, which looks really cool, which is at Soccer Corner right now. That's a really nice looking car. And still waiting them Ferrari Thunder slots. Hopefully we'll get them soon. So, but be pretty cool to get the cars that you want and have fun with them. Where do you get driver? So, trade drivers. I'm trying to think. You could look on eBay. I know, well, don't really like to say it, but Electric Dreams has trade drivers in 125th scale, so you get them there. As far as full figure drivers, you could look on eBay too and see if they do have full figured 124 scale drivers that you could use. You mainly have to chop the legs off if you're going to use a full interior, because then nobody's going to really be looking at the legs, because some of them are kind of odd, maybe a little bit too long to put them in there, so you cut the legs down. So you could get them from there, those two places that I mentioned. Anybody else, Dave, you have anywhere that you can get them, let us know and put it in the link there. I appreciate it. We get you Portsmouth, where I was born. All right, Portsmouth. So I got the Datsun, the BRM Datsun 160, and the tires rub. Shaking my head. Wow. So you got, wow. Oh man, those are pretty high, aren't they? $160 for the Datsun. That's the 240, right? The Z and some tires and some tire rub is what you're saying. Wow. Yeah. It seems like a lot of Revos and BRM suffer from that. My solution is I use those little scale racing silicone washers. The half millimeter, and that raises up a teeny bit enough to prevent that from happening, at least from what I've been doing. I know some other people will do other things, so just depends what you want to do. Yeah, trade driver, nobody's home. It would be Electric Dreams would have the trade drivers, the Rusket trade drivers. John, Revo's F40 should have landed in the States now. Yep. Those I have two F40s. They're pretty cool cars. There's a link. Dave just threw it on there. I don't know what that's to. Maybe it's to something else, but those are really cool cars. I have the silver and red one, and the silver, I think it's red and gray or something like that. The 2-pack. Those are really Momo. Those are really good looking cars, and they handle real nicely once you get them all set up. So, Mark, do you put the dash in your land barge from a model kit, or do you use standalone cockpit? You could do either. It depends what's easier for you. So, for example, what did I do that one to? I don't think I did it to any of these cars. I did it on another car, not a land barge. You can put the dash. Then what you could use is you could use plastistrut. That's the angle plastistrut. I forget what the heck you call that stuff. It's like the shape of an L, and that'll drop it down below the dash, and you could set your tray on that, and then glue those to the side of the car, so it kind of drops it down. So this way the dash is kind of like above the tray. I'm trying to see if I have one. Hold on. Nope, I don't. Not on these ones. But yeah, you could do that. Either or. It doesn't matter. Either or will work. You could do both. You just have to experiment. But yeah, of course, the dash will work. Or you just don't want to put a dash, don't put a dash. That's fine. Nice, John. I got the Marlboro livery. Yep, Marlboro livery is really nice. There's a couple of cars that are really good looking out there. So we have a question from Danny Thomason. How you doing? Welcome to the live stream. So question, does it have to be a NASCAR driver, or can we put any race stickers on the body? Okay. So good question. So you're saying the livery of the car. So you want to be traditional to what the livery was during that time when they raced. So, for example, I'll give you, hold on a second. This is an actual racer. You don't have to have an actual racer, and I'll show you an example. So this is Fred Lorenzen. So traditionally in this time, they had the horsepower and, 28, big number on the top, whatever little sponsors here, Lafayette Ford and Fayetteville, North Carolina. The F is behind the bumper there. But, so that's one right there. So here's an example. Here's a fantasy livery. See how I did that? And you don't have to have a driver's name. This is a fantasy livery, but you see how traditional it is to of the era of the car where they had the horsepower on the hood or the cubic inch and the little sponsor on there, some sponsors of the time. And that's what I mean, right? This is a Mercury. So the front is a little high on this, but it runs pretty good. And again, this is a basic chassis. That's a different guide tongue. It's a Cobra guide tongue. I think that one is, because it's a lot more narrow. But this is a good, cool kit, a good car. So yeah, just make sure you do it you don't have to have a NASCAR driver name on there. You could do fantasy livery. You could, if you don't have a name, you don't have a name, no big deal. But as you see that Dave has done some interesting liveries where they're just like they look like the other cars during that time of the era where they raced, but he puts names up there of, you got to say the name that you did there last time, Dave, was I can't remember. You got to put it up there. It was funny what he did with the name of the driver. He just made one up. But yeah, you could do that. You could do something like that. That's fine as long as it's within the era of what the other cars look like. You don't want to put like 90s like decals on it. That wouldn't look right, and the numbers would be different, obviously. So, want to keep it the same. So, thank you there, Just G. Appreciate it. And Dave dropped a link with something there. And he puts right here. Here's another driver. Has the vintage look, perfect for the barges. Okay, he put a decal one on there on eBay, I think, something like that, or a driver. So click that box and check it out. John, have my quota for my F40s, but damn the Marlboro car, I caved. It's easy to cave, not too hard. So we got a question here from Bruce Brecky. Hi all. Tried to glue. I tried tire glue tool and used nail clear polish to bond the tire wheel. Does anyone else have methods to bond the tire to the wheel? Well, usually nail polish works real well. Are you talking about what kind of wheels and tires? Are you talking about like the CB design wheel tires or wheels? I mean, urethane tires. Are you talking about the Lambarge stuff, or are you talking about like a regular like slot car, that you bought and you want to glue the wheels to it? Kind of elaborate on that so we could help you out, just to make sure you're talking about the same thing we are. So thank you, Gary. Appreciate that. The car I showed. Thank you. Yeah, that was the second car I built for Harry's race, the Galaxy. I know that's one of Marty's builds he's doing, and he loves the Galaxy. It's a sharp looking car, and handles pretty good. So I'm casting some drivers who may be able to help. Oh, cool. Yeah, that'd be cool. Rob, we could use all the help we could get. I would rather get drivers from you or eBay than where I would want to get them, which they have them, but I won't say it anymore. But yeah, that'd be great. Appreciate it. Danny Thomas, you're welcome. I hope that kind of helped you out there. If you have any questions, just email us. You could go to Patos. Patos has classic NASCAR, decals. They have a lot of decals from all eras of NASCAR. So Patos is one. Slick decals, and there's also Innovate Hobbies, which has the sticker decals, which here's the car that I used that on. Now, see, here's kind of like a fantasy livery, no name, but this car right here is not really, it doesn't have the correct wheels. So I couldn't use these wheels or tires. See how wide they are in the back. So this is just something I built for the hell of it. But these are the Innovate decals. They give you a sheet of stickers, and I didn't put a number on the top, obviously, and those work pretty good. The Innovate decal. So that's in the Catalina I just made up. So hope that helps you out. My liveries are always fantasy. Yep, Dave always makes some fantasy liveries. So yeah, and the name of the driver he had on there was Hugh Hardon. Hugh Hardon. Which is pretty funny. That's the latest car he did. That was pretty cool. So you can make up some names too, That wouldn't be far from a Dick Trickle. I mean, yeah. But that's his latest driver. Clearwater glued some inserts into aluminum wheels now. I don't like them. Tried boiling water to get them out. Nothing. Any suggestions? So would you use super glue? The only thing I suggest is using heat to get it out. Like a small torch, just heat the wheel. If it's the aluminum wheel, it shouldn't hurt it. And that should get the plastic loosen up, or the glue. Just I would use heat. That's your only best bet right there. Some heat, like maybe from a heat gun or a small mini torch. Like I have a small mini torch. You could do that. See if that'll loosen it up. Hope that helps you out there. Doesn't you hard on always put drivers into the wall? That's a good one. I like that. Lambard, CB wheels, and Paul Gage tires. Use nail polish. I've done a couple of videos where if you go to, Bruce, if you go to Home Racing World, the main site, and Dave could put a link in for me. There's a section called Scratch Building. Everything's there. Go through those videos, and you'll see how tires are glued on. There should be some builds in there where they show how they glue the tires. But I've always used nail polish. Is it so the wheel you have? Is it a donut type tire that slides on the wheel, or is it a ribbed wheel where the wheel is ribbed and you put it on? I'll show you what I mean. Hold on a second. I have examples of that right here. So this is a ribbed one. It's a ribbed wheel. And I do not have a, darn it, I don't have one, so it's in the package. So here we go. So here's a ribbed wheel, okay? This is a ribbed tire. Has the rib on the inside of it. I just flipped inside out. What I usually do with these, I put a coat of nail polish all the way around, and then I slip them on, obviously. Try not to get the nail polish all over the place. And then I just roll it, when I have it on an axle, I just roll it. And that's how I do these ones. Now, on the donut ones, that would be this one. See, if I turn this inside out, there's no rib. I can't do it. See, there's no rib in there. These slide on. Put a good amount of coat of nail polish, slide it on there, and face the wheel down so that it kind of flush with the rim when you have it against the surface, up, facing down. Put it on there and let it sit there for a day or at least a day, and you shouldn't have a problem. Because on these ones, if you don't glue them really good, the rim will actually spin on the wheel because there's no rib to kind of hold it on. It's kind of more of a slip-on, and it will, eventually will work loose. So, or you could even use super glue if you want. It's up to you. But usually nail polish works good. I really don't run into a problem at all. And hey, Shotgun, can you put nail polish on the front wheels for fast lap? Or is that a no-no? Okay, Dave will answer that. The drivers are not enough. There are not enough drivers available. Full drivers, streetcar or race car. Gotcha. Yeah, that's kind of a subject that's a little tough to get stuff for. I know Dave and I talked about it. It's kind of hard to get drivers. I know Dave casts drivers, but I mean, you'll have to talk to Dave about that because I'm not going to elect Dave to cast people drivers. Because casting takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of effort, and it's not cheap because the silicone that he uses runs from $100 to $150. So you can imagine, after a while, that does get costly, and then you can get so many pulls out of the mold, and then you have to make another mold. So, but Dave's answering. Mark, no nail polish, no problem. On the tires, no problem. So there you go for that question. There you go. Swift slots, Rob. I'll send you a handful over. See if you can give them out to people need. Well, I appreciate that, Rob. Thank you. That would be great. Thank you very much. That's very nice of you. Thank you. So cool. So Rob can help us out there. And then Dave, I cast several drivers. I just can't keep up with the demand for them. Yep. So you go. So David showed you on his channel how he casts stuff and what it takes to cast it. It's not something that takes like 5 minutes or like you're baking a cake. It takes a lot of I need a haircut. It takes a lot of effort, and it's a lot of work. So keep that in mind. So John Albright, cheap old Aquanet hairspray, swab it on the wheel and tire, slip it on and let it cure. Wheel scuffing may be needed. Yep, there you go. Yeah, that's important. I didn't mention that. Make sure you scuff the surface of the wheel as well. I'm sorry, didn't mention that. This way that it has a good area to get on. So aqua spray, there you go, or hairspray. Perfect. That's like a spray glue. So even 3M spray glue is kind of similar. It's very tacky. Once you get it on there and cures, it'll do the job. So good. Thank you, John, for mentioning that. Jeff G, FYI, Paddles is going on vacation soon. So if you order them from them, get your order soon. I'm sure he'll put he's on a vacation notice too. So yeah, so you need to do that. Peels away clean when needed. Yeah, it doesn't. destroy the tire, I guess you're saying, and stuff. So that's good. JV. Phil McCracken. Don't know who that is. Don't know if that's a spammer or not. Toju Slot Car Racing. Hey, welcome to the broadcast, sir. How you doing? Evening to you as well. All right. All right, cool. Clearwater, give that a shot with heat. You know, obviously don't melt the wheel, which I don't think you can. So, but usually heat will break super glue and like Loctite and stuff like that loose. So, JV. Yeah, busting up. I don't know. You guys got an inside joke on that. I don't know for sure what that is. So, but George, did you see microset salt on any of your models you just showed? Yeah. I have microset microsol. Basically, what that is vinegar. If you mix vinegar and water, you can make some homemade microsol. It's designed to soften the decal, so it goes into the ridges of, like, say, how the trim is on the Catalina. It kind of conforms to that. So yeah, you could do that. So clear kind of what kind of glue you use. I think you use super glue, but I'm not sure. So Sally Hansen, there you go. Rib wheel, yeah. So nail polish will work. I've done it all the time with nail polish. You guys give it a chance to dry. Give it like a day. Let it set overnight. Just say overnight, and then let them dry. They should be fine. I've never had a problem. All these cars that I have on here are rib type wheels, and I've used nail polish on all of them, and I haven't had one come off. So yeah, but you could try something else if you want. It's totally up to you. Scratch building section. Yes, sir. There you go. So there's a scratch building section there. There you go. Appreciate it. Oh yeah, Sally Hansen's hard as nail polish remover. That's right. I just clicked in there when you said when I saw that. Yeah, hard as nails. You get that from Amazon. That works really well. I use something else. So but I need to get over that. Bend over. I think you were JV. You were talking about the type of drivers. Okay, I got you, sir. I'm sorry. I wasn't sure. Phil McCracken. I missed that, buddy. JV. I'm sorry. I thought at first you were a spammer. I'm sorry about that, buddy. Now I see what you're saying about the different drivers, and I didn't catch that on. So JV is saying Phil McCracken, because then I see the other comment, which is yeah, that's from Porky's. Mike, you know what? I don't want to say it because I don't know if somebody else is watching her. Yeah, JV. Sorry, you got me, man. Yeah, good one right there. Yeah, I got you, Dave. Driver names. There you go. Pioneer makes drivers too, 132nd. Also, Rebel Slot makes some drivers too that are pretty cool, 132nd as well. Not 125th, but I got you, JV. Sorry, bud. I wasn't sure. Welcome to the live. I wasn't sure, but driver name ID is not spam. I got you, sir. I appreciate that. Sorry about that. Probably my apologies. A few drops of alcohol and a cup of water works as good as microsol, at least for me. There you go. So you can make your own homemade stuff. So awesome. All right, cool. Well, I'm glad you guys are chatting up here with me because, again, I don't have many ideas popping in my head. Sometimes I get on these lives, I'm like, oh man, what the heck am I going to talk about? And I'm not sure, but I figure, the scratch building stuff kind of helps. Otherwise, I'm really kind of, out of ideas sometimes. But John, in a hurry to cure the tires, park them under the heat source, such as your pit lamp. Yeah, you can heat them up. There you go. Get them to get them cured. That's a good idea. So there you go. Gene, question from Gene: when it comes to gluing the glass, what is the worst and best glue to use and why? Okay, Gene. So again, click that link where it says that Dave put on, which is the scratch build section. So Tad found a super glue called Bob Smith's. It says a gold label. He did a video on it, and what it does, it doesn't cloud up the glass. You use super glue and it doesn't cloud up the glass. That stuff doesn't do that. So go to that link that Dave just posted, and there's a video where it's called Bob Smith's, and it's the gold label type. That's what he used, and that won't cloud up. That's a good one to use right there. And I haven't tried it yet because if you want something to glue pretty quick, that'll do it. But all right, I appreciate that, sir. Bourbon or rubbing alcohol, Dave? Well, bourbon would be kind of expensive, wouldn't it? You want to be drinking that, not using it for that. But I get what you're saying. Canopy glue. There you go. Canopy glue. Two guys saying canopy glue, including slot R. Yeah, there's another alternative there. Area 51 Raceway, NC. Nothing wrong with bench racing. Of course not. Nothing wrong with bench racing whatsoever. There's another link, Dave. Just there you go. Bob Smith Gold. That's what it is. So that won't cloud up your glass like regular super glue does. So, or you can use canopy glue as mentioned. Testers also makes a glue for glass, but it takes longer to dry. But if you want something pretty quick, even UV glue is another one. But I think that that one Bob Smith one's pretty good too. And then also here, Daryl's got one here. Testers Cockpit Cement. There you go. Sometimes shoe goo. There you go. There's a lot of alternatives out there. Thank you guys for helping out with that. John A. So true. I cure my tires on my internet router box from the heat. There you go. Good one. I tried transparent glue on my windshield and it worked quite well with the Whistle Pig. Makes it better. With Whistle Pig. I'm not sure. Maybe that's a typo, but I'm not too sure. Mark, sorry. Don't understand that one too well. Swift slots hold the glass in with foil tape. I tried it on my drag car. It works well. Cool. There you go. Foil tape. So E600, that's the shoe glue. Works for Windows 2. Just takes a while to dry. Yeah, if you want something more instant, then you could get that Bob Smith Gold because it's super glue that doesn't cloud your windows. Or you could use something that's slower, like, the shoe glue or the tester stuff or canopy glue. I don't know how fast canopy glue is, but I think the Bob Smith super glue would be quicker because it'll need it within like 10 minutes. Should be good. Or epoxy. You can mix some epoxy. There's 5-minute epoxy from Bob Smith. You have to mix it though. So you could try that as well. Really, really looking forward to Whistle Pig is bourbon. Okay, gotcha. Daryl just straightened me up. Straighten me up on that. Yep. Okay, sorry, Mark. Now I understand, Mark. I didn't know. I don't know bourbon names too well. There you go. Whistle Pig is bourbon. Drink while gluing. Gotcha. All right, cool. Thanks, guys, for clearing that up. Again, I'm looking forward to everybody's builds. I'm trying to look at something I can. Well, I think that should be it. But again, looking forward to the builds that everybody's going to be doing. I'm just trying to find something else to talk about here and to bring up. So Bob Smith tire glue. If you're worried about losing a tire, that stuff is the best. Be prepared to soak your wheels for a tire change. All right, cool. All right, I didn't know Bob Smith made a tire glue. And I think Bob Smith makes a lot of stuff. I have a big hobby shop down here, not far, about 10 miles from me. They got a lot of stuff. So they got a lot of Bob Smith products. So I'll have to check that out. So there you go. Some good alternatives. Ask Dusty. Yeah, Dusty knows every bourbon on the planet. I'm sure that's what he does. Does a bourbon collection. Cool. Thanks, guys, for helping me out with that. Answer that question about glue. That's pretty good. Good questions here that people have for, doing stuff. Man, I really need a haircut. But let's see what we got here, John, or excuse me, Michael. Career track experts. How do you get borders to stay level with the track? No step two. That I'm not sure of, Michael. I know I use the racetrack scenic stuff, which works really well. Those borders are pretty good. I don't know about anything else like that, to be honest. SCC tire glue is a Bob Smith product. Okay, cool. I didn't know that. See, and I didn't really look at SCC carry that also. I know they carry the tire gluing cones, which I have 2 of those. I've never used them. I never really had the need to, but it was just to have them there. I have the tools for it, but cool. I didn't know they had glue there. See, that's something I didn't know about. Man, it's warm up here today. Awesome. Good questions everybody's asking here. Good to clear up everything and see what everybody's, interested in. Yeah, I did, but I didn't use. I used the borders I used were not borders, but you're talking about rails or borders. You said borders, didn't you? Yeah, I mean, I use the clips that clip them together also on the inside. I mean, they're not always usually super level, but I mean, they're pretty decent. Uh, but it depends on your surface, though, Michael. I don't know if you have a lumpy surface or not, or if they're kind of like, kind of distorted. But yeah, you're right. I did have one. I just never had that problem, really, to be honest. So I never noticed. Glue I use for Windows is Transpafix 6K, a universal weathering carrier. Huh. Interesting. I didn't know I had something like that. Tojo slot cars. You could try. You could use shims to level it out. There you go, Michael. You could try that out. Sorry, man. I didn't have much answers for you on that. I just never really. That never really had that problem because my table was pretty flat. Thin 3M Gorilla Snot was always a way for foam tires. Again, you have to soak the wheels. Ah, that's right. Gorilla Snot. I remember that stuff. See that yellow stuff? That's what it was yellow to me. You have a lumpy surface. Yeah, you have a lumpy surface. See, I didn't have one, so the only thing I could think of is putting a piece of cardboard underneath it to make it that's flat, or a piece of wood. But I'm not sure, buddy. I don't know what to tell you about that. Uh, Bob Smith stuff works much the same. Cool, good to know. So there you go. Good answers here, man. A lot of good support from you guys. I appreciate that. So, oh, got quite a bit of people watching. That's cool. Glad everybody can make it here. So, the track connectors work fine, Michael. There you go. Track connectors, the little red clips. That's usually what I use on the inside. But again, I had a flat surface. I didn't have a wavy surface. I don't know. Maybe Michael needs to fix that first before he does anything else. Make his surface flat. All right, guys. So, anything else on your mind? I know I don't have much. Okay, boys. I'll be listening, but have to cook dinner. All right, Dave, go to it, man. I know you got things to do. Cool. Dave's got to cook dinner. We got 57 minutes in, so I don't know if there's anything else you want to talk about, guys. I am struggling to keep up with what we could talk about. I know we discussed the chassis kit in the video. So, what were we having, Dave? Let's see. Tojo Stock Car Racing. Sometimes even with all the clips, it will be off just a bit on the shoulders. Even on level surface, shim should sort it out if there's some still. All right, cool. All right. So nobody's home was asking what we're having, Dave. You're gonna have to answer that. Michael Squire went it out, shim it out. There you go. All right. That's the way to do it. Fred Moon, how you doing? Yeah, no problem, Fred Moon. Glad you could join me and hear me ramble on. I sound like an idiot sometimes, I feel. From Oklahoma, all right. Cool. Oklahoma is okay. I always trip on their motto. Oklahoma is okay. Cool. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate that. Shims it is then. Oops, excuse me. Dang. Giant Lamborghinis are tipping at the edge. Ah, I got you. Because they're slanting down and falling off. I got you. Kim Davis, I still can't get bushings out of my VRM pillars. Is there a tool? So you asked about that. Kim, I remember you emailed me. So were you able to take the pillar off the chassis? And their bushings. John Albright should knows. I guess this is an older car, right? It's got bushings in it instead of bearings. So I would, like I said, the pillar that screws onto the plate of the chassis, I would take that off and put it in the soft vise or somewhere and on top of two pieces of wood and try and drive it out with like a brass punch, a small brass punch or something. Or you could heat it up. Again, it's aluminum and I guess brass, the bushing. Heat it up and then knock it out. Put a little heat to it, like a little small butane torch, because the heat will release it eventually. So, because this is a BRM, I don't deal too many BRMs. I usually do the Revo slots because they have bearings, but try that out. I know it's not much, it's kind of hard to show you. So, see you later, Tad. But I never thought about sanding the rims to make the glue stick. Good info. Yeah, you want to sand them down a little. I didn't mention that. I always sand them down a little. DJ Patrick, how you doing? How you doing tonight? So I would try that, Kim. I think that would be your best bet, is adding some heat to it. Obviously, don't touch it when it's hot, and then try and drive it out. If you could put it in a vise somewhere, or you have two pieces of wood, and you could, how would you say, put the pillar like to where it could hold it, so when you hit it down, it pops it out. I'm trying to think what else. Man, a little press would do too if you had a small press, but I don't know. I would try the heat thing. Is my suggestions to try and drive it out with like a drift punch or something. Because I don't know how big the BRM pillars. I guess they're on the big 124 scale cars, so I guess they're this big. I would try that out. If not, I mean, you'd have to order a pillar and a bushing if it's so bad. You could do that. So I had shim under all most of my corners. There you go. Soccer Dojo just did it. Exactly what we're talking about. Putting shims like John mentioned and a few other guys. The vice is always good, friend, for pressing, bushing your gear. Yep, that's right. You could do that too. All right. George needs a trip down the BRM rabbit hole. I've thought about it, but I know BRM makes some. Man, they made some beautiful. The Ferrari 512, and they have the 917. That's really nice cars, but they're really up there in price, and that's probably a little bit too much for me at the moment. I mean, maybe one day, but just not now. But yeah, they're nice cars, and I don't know BRM too well, so I'm sorry, Kim. I can't really help you with that too much. John Albright, a jeweler's fine. Daryl Rogers, a fine jeweler's file while the wheel is spinning on the trigger is very light touch. There you go. Good idea. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, try and be a little bit more aggressive. I mean, if anything, if it gets messed up, you could order another part. I know it's at Slot Car US 132 has parts for that, or you could try Pendle Slot. So I'm sure there's a way to get a part if it all else fails out of it. So not sure how that happened. Makes quick work of it. Thanks, Gary. No problem. Thanks, John. There you go. Cool. A lot of good information here, man. I appreciate everybody tossing in their ideas. That's what the whole thing's about. So good. Well, let me take a swig here. I'm thirsty. All right, cool. All right, guys. So, well, now it's been about an hour. I'm pretty much out of ideas right now. But nice to talk about. So next week I'll have something for sure to discuss. I got to make a little plan here to make it, more interesting, because it seems like it's going to get boring if I just come in here and not know what to talk about, really. So, all right, guys, I'll call it. It's about an hour, so I know it wasn't an hour and a half, but thank you for everybody for coming. I appreciate it. I'm sorry, really not many stuff really was discussed, but here you go. It would help if you had something wide enough to tap the bearing out by the race to prevent damage to the bearing. There you go. Point right there. Kim Davis, if you send photos actually of what it looks like, that would kind of help too. I know you sent one photo. If you could send another one of you of the thing off of the plate, and you could kind of like try and help you out that way and see if we give you an ideas. But try what we mentioned, and what John mentioned. All right, everyone. Thank you very much for coming. I appreciate it. It was fun. I hope I didn't bore you to death. You guys take care, and like I say, you guys always have fun racing. Appreciate it. See you later.